We often hear people moaning about their banks. Too much small print on what seemed like a good deal, or perhaps being turned down for a loan.
Well, there may now be an answer. A new saving and lending website which cuts out the banks and claims to offer people a better return for their money. For tonight's special report, Richard Scott has been looking at the idea of cash online.
Meet Pete and Chris. Pete had spare cash which he wanted to invest. Chris needed to borrow to buy a new car, so Pete lent his money directly to Chris through a system which cuts out the banks and the middlemen. It's called Zopa, and it's a bit like shopping for money online. Savers lend their money directly to people who want to borrow. This screen may just look like a load of numbers, but it's the key to how Zopa works. People can choose how many months their loan is for, pick what interest rate to charge, and what sort of borrower they're after. If they choose a low-risk borrower, someone with an A-star rating, then they'll have to charge a lower interest rate than if they lend to someone with a C rating, who's more likely to default on their loan.
It's a nice feeling to be able to lend to people rather than to just chuck money into a savings account and forget about it. So you know it's actually doing some good, as well as getting you, and this is the other reason, a really good return on your investment.
I get very frustrated that the banks seem to constantly be making an awful lot of money, and the appeal of Zopa really is that I can almost approach someone directly. Obviously it's a group of people rather than one person, but that I'm borrowing directly from someone else, and that actually the bank gets cut out of the loop.
Of course, there is the potential problem of what do you do if someone runs off with your money? Well, as long as you lend £500 or more, then your money's spread among dozens of different borrowers. That way, if one or two people do run off with your money, the rest of your loan is still okay. So far, though, only a very small percentage of loans have actually turned bad.
Do you want to talk about football?
So what about borrowers?
Matt.
Well, people like schoolteacher Chris can look at the various interest rates on offer from lenders, compare them to rates at the banks and decide which deal to go for. More than 100,000 people have joined up so far, and whilst the company admits it is there to make money, it says there is a human side too.
We are a commercial organisation and we do look to make money. What we're trying to do is cut out some of the excess profits that we believe banks make and share in that with our members.
Since it launched, Zopa lenders have got an average return of more than 6.5%. Now, that is better than a savings account, but there is that risk of bad debts, remember, and on top of that, just like a savings account, you'll still be taxed on the income. And if the system becomes really popular, the banks could retaliate.
What they might do to fight back is actually try and undercut Zopa. They may say, look, we're going to lose money for a few months, maybe even a year, by offering better loan deals than Zopa, on the basis that Zopa will then go out of business and they'll have the market back to themselves again.
Above all, though, the system needs plenty of people like Pete and Chris, or it won't be able to match up the lenders and borrowers. Richard Scott, BBC News.